Exciting time to be a racing fan this weekend, just because there's absolutely nothing stupid to talk about coming out of it. There weren't car fires, there weren't major tire issues, there wasn't anyone wrecking anybody, there wasn't anyone flinging Kyle Larson around like a rag doll. Like, I consider that to be a really good weekend. After weeks of just nothing but pure stupid, it's nice. It's a good change of pace to, come out of this and be talking about, actual racing and points, and that's it. So I'm in a good mood. Hopefully, you're all in a good mood. Sorry, it's a little later than usual here on this Monday. Spend time with her family, so didn't get to catch anything until this morning. But good racing, weekend. I like the racing at COTA. I like some of the racing that I saw at Homestead, Miami. At least people could actually pass and stuff then for NASCAR, so that was good to see. And people work their way through, and again, there just wasn't a lot of stupid, which is a nice change of pace from the way a lot of the season has gone. And I want to say before we get going, Ben Rhodes, you better have bought Christian Eckes and Matt Crafton something real nice after that truck race. Yo ass will never probably hear or see this. Your ass shouldn't be going to the championship for. They did you a massive solid for that one, but it's convenient having your teammates right there. Worked out good for them. But getting into it, the F1 United States Grand Prix in Austin, Texas at COTA, or the Circuit of the Americas, depending on what you know it as. I like COTA. Maybe it's because I was in the Marine Corps. We have, acronyms to remember all kinds of stuff and abbreviations and everything. So maybe I like it a little bit more because of that. But great track. Thoroughly enjoy the racing action there, no matter what's on it. From super bikes to this, with NASCAR and all kinds of stuff in between. Good stuff. Carlos Sainz was on pole. Max Verstappen second. 6 drivers with grid penalties. Some had to start, grid penalty. Some starting on pit road. Like, there was a lot of that, and it started off crazy. George Russell and Carlos Sainz make contact on like lap 1 in turn 1, and it ends Carlos's day for a 6th DNF of the season. The stewards did give George Russell a 5-second penalty after the contact and was forced on the pit stop. And I thought it was, fair for right, there. And just with the puncture being that far back in those races, might as well park it, which does have to suck. But that happened. And again, good racing here and there. Stroll tried to block Fernando Alonso and sent Fernando up into a wheelie. That was something I haven't seen in a while. Thankfully, Alonso got to keep going. Stroll's car blew apart and was done for the day. And then Fernando Alonso also got that penalty, which dropped him way back. He turned it around great after that happened to get a good finish, and then penalty got him. But Red Bull won the Constructors Championship. Shocker. Like, I didn't say we saw that coming. I'm pretty sure we all did the year they've been doing. Max Verstappen got yet another win, tied, Michael Schumacher now, one other person for most wins ever in a season. He still has, I think, 3 races left. So I'm pretty sure he's going to be all by himself here in another week or so. Not putting it past, it taking any longer than the next race. But congratulations to him again. Dominated the year. No, you can't be mad at the Constructors Championship either. I mean, Red Bull has dominated this whole entire season, so they deserve it. If you're going to run that dominant, I mean, you can't really be mad at them when they go and they win the championships, no matter how much people don't like them. Lewis Hamilton second, best run for Mercedes that I've seen. And again, that straight line speed that Red Bull has the advantage in is what got him that race, because Lewis stayed right on him after he got by him. It was good to see Lewis competitive, though, because it's been such a down year. Will he get a win to continue the streak? Who knows? But at least he looks really competitive there. And we'll see what they have in Mexico. I believe is the next race, Mexico City. See if they could do it again. Like, that was, because that was impressive. And it's not like he fell into it. Like, he was up there running good for the whole race. He was right up in there. So congratulations to Lewis on that. Charles Leclerc third, Sergio Perez fourth, George Russell fifth after the 5-second penalty on. That's not bad, getting the top 5. Lando Norris sixth, Sebastian Vettel seventh after a really long pit stop. I mean, that could have been way worse. Kevin Magnussen eighth, Yuki Tsunoda ninth, and Ocon rounded out the top 10. And again, I said Fernando Alonso had his issues. He did go from 7th to 15th after a 30-second penalty was assessed. So even after going, airborne and all that, he did recover until all of that. But points coming out of it, Max is done, so I'm not even going to mention him. He's a champion already. Charles Leclerc is second, 267 points, and Sergio Perez is third at 265 points. Again, good racing between the two of those at the end there, with Charles getting the best of it. But there's only 2 points between them for second. George Russell's fourth at 218 points. So there's a big enough gap back to him that he's not going to catch them. And then he also has a 16-point lead over fifth place Carlos Sainz at 202. And now Lewis Hamilton in sixth is at 198. So only 4 points behind Carlos. And that could just be one race right there for one or the other. That could completely, make that, change hands and put someone else out. So we got to see if, and that's still really good if you think about it, with Carlos Sainz having his sixth DNF. So no points to still be fifth. With how many Lewis hasn't had, that's really good for him. I don't know. We're going to see how Mexico goes, because I was hoping Mercedes would get better. I didn't see them only losing because they didn't have the top, speed capabilities like Red Bull in a straight line. Because, again, Lewis didn't fall back really at all after he got by him. He was still right there at a respectable distance. So see what that does going into next weekend. But I think George Russell is safe at fourth. And again, Carlos Sainz, Lewis Hamilton. I could say, he could obviously, get by him for fifth, just on track if the car keeps going that way. But he could also, pass him because he has another failure or wreck or something. It's going to come down to the wire. I am, though, happy, that there's still two solid races going on for second and third, and now fifth and sixth right now, because that gives, something to still race for, even though the, Drivers' Championship is done. The Constructors' Championship is done. At least they can still battle for that. So that's an exciting thing, and good races to watch because of that. If you don't watch F1, I'm telling you, check it out when it's in Mexico City, this next race, or find the replay. They like to rerun them. It's really, really good racing. You'll thoroughly enjoy it. You don't go in there expecting anyone to get anywhere near Max Verstappen, because it just doesn't happen. He's in a different world this year. Gets us now to the action from the Homestead Miami Speedway for NASCAR, which again, some, interesting stuff coming out. It was nothing, stupid, no tire calamity, no fights, no wrecks, people intentionally wrecking. There was actually a lot of really good, clean racing for the most part, which was really good to see. Ryan Prix on pole, had to start from the back, and he made his way up to the top. I think he was seventh on lap 22 or something. He was cruising through the field, expect nothing else from him. Super driver. And I think he should have Cole Custer's ride, not Cole Custer, because how many years are you going to give him to figure it out? Everyone's on a level playing field. Still couldn't figure it out. Priest deserves the ride, just me. Actually, probably not just me, but Ben Rhodes led every lap on stage one. John Hunter Nemechek took himself out early, so he's eliminated from the championship race. He was just up there and bounced it off the wall, blew a tire, and it was done, real early. Sucked, took himself out of it, but at least it wasn't like last year where he won all those races and then didn't win the championship. So now curious to see where he goes next year. He's going to stay with KBM over Chevy, or is he going to get maybe a ride with Gibbs or something? There's a lot of possibilities. I'm very intrigued to see what happens there, but it sucked to see it end that way. And Ty Majeski got the win, and the championship 4 is set. And again, Ben Rhodes better thank Eckes and Crafton, because Crafton got by him with a few laps to go. And then he not only, got back by him, somehow Christian Eckes, who was way up ahead of them, he managed to catch him and get around him to get the point that he needed. Congratulations, Stuart Friesen, for saying it out loud. I was too. I set it up on the Twitter page if you follow me over there. He helped him big time, but he got in, and Stuart did everything he could. He finished third. He couldn't have done pretty much any better if he, than that. But Ty Majeski got the win. Zane Smith second, Stuart Friesen third, Ryan Preece fourth, Corey Heim fifth, Ben Rhodes sixth, his teammates Christian Eckes and Matt Crafton in seventh and eighth, Parker Kliger in ninth, and Chandler Smith rounds out the top 10. Sadly, Granny Enfinger is 14th and out, sadly, but he was running good. Got it off, bounced off the wall, still got a 14th, but that ended it. Haley Deegan finished 17th. Maddie D finished 19th. Now, the points. Championship 4 set. Ty Majeski, Ben Rhodes, Zane Smith, and Chandler Smith. Zane Smith, last 2 seasons, finished second. Let's see if he can actually finish it off. And the third time's the charm, gets the championship in Phoenix. And again, Ben Rhodes wouldn't be there if it wasn't for his teammates. So, and I understand why Stuart Friesen, I'll say the word frustrated. I'd be pissed. I mean, but he handled it and showed his frustration well in post race. But you got in, you got to do what you got to do. And if they didn't say anything over the radio, like, do it. And then you could prove. So he's in. See what he could do. I still, there's 2 Smiths, though. They're the class of the field for a while. I mean, Ty Majeski's on fire now. Didn't win a race, and now he's got 2. But Ben Rhodes, I just haven't seen the consistency as of late. So see who goes into it. See if I just want to see if Zane Smith can finish better than second, because finishing second 3 years in a row, that would have to piss somebody off. But it'll be a good race. I like, Phoenix. I haven't actually fully seen a race there in a long time. Seen the results. I haven't seen an actual race just because of timing difference. Her family doing stuff like that, just never find the time to do it. But I'm going to make sure I watch that one. I'm really excited to see all the action. Like I've seen the Cup, like Miami saw them. Since they moved the championship to Phoenix, I don't think I've actually ever watched the race live. So that would be a good change of pace. And go to Racing Rosinski on Twitter if you want to follow me along on that live tweeting, getting everyone's perspective during the race. It's going to be fun. I do it during as many of them as I can. So keep an eye out for it. Xfinity Series, Contender Boats 300. Trevor Bayne on pole. Noah Gragson was second. Good to see Trevor Bayne up there. I didn't like the way it ended for him in Cup. I thought he's done a good job filling in, getting races here when he can in the 18. I thought, he's shown really good. We got to see, money comes out, but I think he deserves, a shot if they could figure it out to be in the 18 full time or the 54 or something. With Brandon Jones is, on for the team there. I'm surprised. Let's just say that Gibbs hasn't, made any formal announcements about the 18, the 54. Like, there's a lot of openings there, and I hope Trevor Bayne gets one because I think he's really deserved it. 27 Mook gets up the track, and JJ Yeley on lap 3. Riley Herbst gets damage in it, but Riley did make a good comeback. He ended it on a good note, so good on him. Noah Gragson just dominated the race like he has been for, as I said, beat him. And I'll believe it. He's just in a different level, different stratosphere right now. He won stage 1 under caution. He won stage 2 after Allgaier had a flat tire and issues with 4 to go. Another tire issue for Allgaier with about 20 to go and a pretty decent hit, but these things do happen, and he kept going, so it wasn't catastrophic, but he made some serious, decent contact with it. Lots of idiocy with 13 to go. There's some tires there, but how old the track is and all that. That's, not anything extra crazy. And the restart 5 to go made no difference. Noah Gragson got the win. It was good to see that. Good to see the racing again between Ty Gibbs and AJ Allmendinger for second. And they finished second and third. I thought they were really good and racy with each other there on the restart. Good to see it. Very clean. That's the big thing. Because there's just been so much get the hell out of my way and just slamming people. It was nice to see clean racing. Hemrick got a 4th. Good for him. He needed it. Sam Mayer 5th. He needed it. Didn't help much in the points, but I mean, he got points when he needed them, and he got a 5th, which is good. Trevor Bayne 6th. Good to see. Chandler Smith 7th. Riley Herbst got an 8th after everything. Austin Hill 9th. And Justin Allgaier rounded out the top 10, even with the tire issues. So congratulations to him because he needed it. If he, with the way points are right now, he needed it. He couldn't afford to be any farther back. So he still is in striking distance. Bailey Curry got a 13th. Congrats to him. Brennan Poole 14th. The last 2 on the lead lap. So congrats to both of them being right there. Only 14 cars on lead lap. You always enjoy being one of them, regardless of where it is. So congrats on them. Julia Landauer, 28th out of 38. So not bad for her. I mean, you didn't hear her name, which, when you don't have that much experience, like, it's good to not hear the name every, 3 seconds. That means, you weren't doing the greatest, but you also didn't do anything stupid, egregious, or anything. So congratulations to her on that. But the points above the cut line, Gragson obviously first, Josh Berry second, both locked in. Ty Gibbs going into Martinsville is at plus 30 in third, and AJ Allmendinger is 4th at plus 5, which makes things, super interesting because plus 30, you could hold on to that fairly decently. One good stage, and he should be locked in roughly-ish. at Martinsville. Where he doesn't have to worry. Just below the cut line, though, Justin Allgaier is fifth at -5, Austin Hill sixth at -7th. So I'm pretty sure fourth through sixth is going to be one hell of a race next week, and especially at short track like Martinsville. Just got to see how it all ends, if there's any fists thrown, stuff like that. Wouldn't be surprised because it is Martinsville. But Sam Mayer is seventh at -28th, and Brandon Jones is eighth at -38. I mean, those are must wins, especially -38. I mean, you can get a lot of. I mean, if Brandon Jones goes out and Sam Mayer goes out and wins, he doesn't have to worry about it. Or if you win stage 1 and stage 2 and then gets a good finish compared to someone like he could, it's not mathematically impossible, but it's not going to be easy. Both of them are going to have to go in there to win it. So I'm curious. I say first and second are locked. Third are locked. The top 3 is locked. See, 4 through 6 is going to be the big race, and to see how it all works out. Does everyone get clean races in? How does it all? Does someone get dumped by something stupid and cause them to go? I'm really intrigued to see what they could do there, just because it is Martinsville and we have seen things happen there. But should be a great race. I'm really intrigued to see what the Cup guys can do after, because the spring race absolutely sucked. And if you didn't watch it, don't. I'm looking forward to see if they fixed it. We'll know real fast. But getting to the Cup Series, Dixie Vodka 400, William Byron on pole, and Kyle Larson just drove away, won by over 8 seconds. And you saw the ticker. He had over 9 seconds going into it, but he didn't do anything stupid, and cause any calamity there with such a big lead at the end. So congratulations to him, because he was the best car by far all day until right there at the end. I say Truex, had something. Just didn't have any laps. But Briscoe issues and done. The end of stage 2. So Larson won stage 1 and 2. Got the second one under caution. Tyler Reddick with big contact, about 25 to go. It sucked. He was wasn't having the best race, but hard contact. Glad he was okay. And I will say again, the racing between this time AJ Allmendinger and Ross Chastain, those last few laps for second there, was amazing, especially after all the just reckless stupid we've seen this year. No one can deny it. Lots of reckless stupid. It was really nice to see them racing each other respectfully and not being complete douche canoes and taking one another out just because. So that was a nice change of pace. But Kyle Larson got the win. Good bounce back after how last weekend went, and he just was really, really good. Ross Chastain second, Allmendinger third, which is good to see him run up there on ovals in the next gen car. Like, that's exciting. Even in races, like, he's done better in that car than the Xfinity stuff. So, excited to see what he can do next week. I think he deserves a second chance. Austin Dillon got a fourth. Good for him. Brad Keselowski fifth. Another good, kudos to him for where the team was. Top 5 is the top 5. Can't beat that. Martin Truex got up to 6th, Hamlin 7th, Harvick 8th, Kyle Busch 9th, Suarez 10th, then Bell was 11th, Byron 12th, Chase Elliott 14th, and Ryan Blaney was in 17th, which then gets us to the points. I'll try to zoom it in so everyone can actually see it, at least somewhat. I don't know if it's too clear for you, and you can't see that guy, but if my arm's there, you can't notice. Anyway, but above the cut line, obviously Logano's first, locked in after the win last weekend. Chastain second at +19. Chase Elliott third at +11. William Byron fourth at +5. The guys below the cut line, Hamlin's fifth at -5. Blaney sixth at -18. And then, we get to 7th and 8th with Bell at -33 and Briscoe at -44. So those are must wins. Bell's going back in there with his back against the wall. This time has to win. Blaney possible if someone has bad luck in front of him. He can get 18 points, but it's going to be really hard just with the competition and where they're going and who's in front that he has to beat and how they run there. I mean, Hamlin, he's pretty good there. Byron showing he can do it there, and he's good. Chase Elliott, we know what he can do there. Ross, it's going to be hard, but he can at least do it without having to win, at least until, second stage is over, and we'll see how it all looks. But I mean, I actually don't really feel confident in anyone that isn't locked in being safe going into it, because 19 points, Ross Chastain, look how many times, look at the time, let's say when Chase was out there winning and Denny dumped him and they finished way back and he lost. I mean, that can happen like that and take you from a really good run to not having those points at all. So I really honestly, bottom of my heart, don't feel confident that anyone's really actually safe, but we know that Chase could run good there. Byron runs good there. Denny runs good there. There's a lot of guys that can run good there. I think it's perfect place for it to come down to. I just hope it doesn't come down to something like Denny dumping someone and then he gets in and someone gets out. just for him, driving like a dick, because we know he knows how to. Try to deny it. I beg you to try to deny it, because he certainly drives like a dick at times. But we'll see. Again, I don't think anyone's safe. Except for Logano, obviously, he's locked in. But see how it all works out. I think it's going to be hard for, Denny, just because everyone from how good they are. But anything can happen. So we'll see. I'm just hoping that the racing is better than the spring race, because that thing absolutely sucked. Absolutely. Completely unequivocally sucked. But that being said, I'm again, another shout out to Lewis Hamilton, Mercedes, to look actually competitive. Congratulations to that. Still would be pissed off if I was freezing, but I understand. Briscoe and Bell, again, I don't see them winning their way in, but we'll see. Glad to see Martin Truex, owned missing his pit box and causing that spin with Larson, the stupid. And nothing coming out of NASCAR that's too stupid. So good weekend. And I'll be back on Friday unless I do some shorts. So enjoy the rest of your week. And until then, peace.